When you hear the phrase YouTube success, what images come to mind? Is it the rush of going viral, the thrill of millions of subscribers, or the flood of sponsorships lining your pockets? Those were my dreams, at least at the start. But the truth is, my YouTube journey has been anything but a fairy tale. I haven't hit the jackpot with a viral video. I don't have millions of views or subscribers. And although I'm yet to achieve that typical YouTube success that we all think of, there's still something inside me that just keeps me posting on here. And I think this is because YouTube has just become so much more for me now than just chasing views and brand deals. It's become more of a journey of personal development for me now. And after these 2 years, I can honestly say that I have grown more as a person than I have any other time in my life. So in this video, I just want to talk about how YouTube has changed my life, even without going viral and having tons of subscribers and all those HelloFresh brand deals that you know they're not subscribed to themselves, but what are you doing? So back when I started uploading 2 years ago, I didn't have a clear why behind why I wanted to do it. Honestly, guys, I was drawn to the idea of it, but I had a lot of fear and uncertainty as well. You know that nagging voice in your head that always says, you're not good enough. What if they don't like you? What if you get made fun of or they give you hate comments and you're just gonna fail? And so for all these years, I let those fears hold me back. I didn't want to put myself out there just to fail. About 10 years ago, I was working for one of my best friends at the time who had a massive YouTube channel, about 3 million subscribers. And I was his right-hand man supporting him behind the scenes, but I never started my own. I never stepped out in the spotlight. I was more like the supporting, I was Robin.
Here, pal. I got this. Mikey, don't. Hey, horse space!
Excuse me? Oh,
Mikey, what are you doing? Don't worry, Josh. I got him.
I absolutely loved being a part of the world and having those friends that had those huge channels, and I got to play that little part here and there, but I always felt like I was playing the supporting role in my life. Because at the end of the day, I was the cheerleader on the sideline. I was helping him and others create content, but I wasn't actually forging my own path. And unfortunately, that was just like a theme throughout my life. I always found myself stepping back instead of stepping up. I was just convinced that I wasn't meant to be the leading man. I was the supportive character, and that was as good as it was gonna get. And I watched others succeed, and I was genuinely happy for them, but I also just saw the years go by where I just stayed stagnant. But as I started to enter my 30s, that's when that narrative just started to wear thin. I just felt dead inside, only working that 9 to 5 that wasn't giving me a creative outlet and wasn't allowing me to just forge my own path. I started to think about what other things I could do with my life at this point, and YouTube still kept coming up in my head, but I was batting it away. And then I eventually got to the point where, you know what? It's gonna be 10 years from now and you're going to think, what if I did it? What would have happened? And I just could not live with not giving it a shot. It scared me to death, but I just said, okay, let's do it. Again, I had no idea what I was going to make my channel about. I was terrified. I didn't exactly know if I was going to stick with it long-term or not. I have ADHD and I always tend to just quit projects really early on in the process. And I just kind of thought that this is something that was going to be just like that. So at 31 years old, as scared as I was, I set up my camera in a tiny corner of my apartment, which you're looking at now, and I hit record and I started talking to a camera. It was weird. I wasn't good at it. I was always good at talking to myself, but this was another weird one because now I'm looking at myself too. And I always knew that this was going to take time to build momentum. I wasn't going to be successful overnight. I wasn't going to be good at this overnight. I saw my friend take years and years and years just to get to 20,000, and then it was more exponential from there. But the initial stages were going to be rough. But I just want to see if I could do it, if I could just create videos that people would actually want to watch. They'd actually sit down and watch me talk for minutes at a time instead of scrolling on TikTok. And I just so desperately wanted to carve out something in my life that was just meaningful to me outside of my 9 to 5 job that I actually had control over, or at least I thought I had control over. Yeah, if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would have had over 100 long form videos made by now, I would have thought there was just no way, especially because I've never received any sort of instant gratification from this because it's always just been a very slow grind. But here's the thing, I haven't quit yet. I think the silver lining I found is even though YouTube has challenged me in so many ways and this growth has seemed almost impossible, it's also given me that sense of perseverance that I never had before, where I still stuck with something even without instant gratification. And I think a massive reason for this has been that small community that I've built. Ironically, I was really scared to have a community at first because I'm a perfectionist. When I put something out there, I want it to be good, and I knew my first handful, probably a couple dozen videos were going to be absolutely trash, and I just didn't want anyone to see them. And that was holding me back from publishing, but then after a few, I realized that no one was even watching. But this was a great thing because it just allowed me to express myself a lot more and know that, okay, I'm just putting in reps, people aren't going to be watching these, and eventually I will be less than terrible, and then if people watch them, I will feel a little bit easier about that. But once I start to get those comments, they weren't just like random comments. They were comments from people that really connected with the videos that I was sharing. And I began to receive comments from people that were just sharing their own experiences, their own struggles. They could just relate with me on that level, and it was really cool. And I was realizing that my vulnerability was just allowing me to connect with others that I just never realized I could. Every time I get a comment from you guys, I'm just so thankful, and I'm happy to read it, and it's just cool that I'm connecting with you guys. It just makes me want to continue to do this. When I read that my videos help someone feel seen and understood, it's just a great feeling. And I realized that YouTube isn't just about the content, but it's also in a lot of ways about the connections that we make. It's no longer a YouTube channel for me, it's a community. Even if there's a few people coming, knowing that I am helping them, it's enough. And upon getting all those comments, it just reinforced that I was actually like striking a nerve to some extent, and it was allowing me to just lower my guard a little bit more and be even more vulnerable. I started sharing my struggles and my fears and opening up about things on here that I wasn't even sharing with the closest people in my life. Talking about my battles with anxiety and depression and ADHD and being a short king. I'm 5'10". Is that short king? Let me know in the comments. I think I just made the cut. And YouTube has just allowed me to become more passionate and more considerate and just more open about the world around me. I've learned to appreciate the journey and celebrate small wins and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and to just not quit on something when I'm not getting instant results. This has been a 2-year-long journey without any significant ROI, and I'm still doing it. So obviously there's a reason for that. There is something that I have found on here that keeps me coming back to where I would have normally quit a long time ago. And I really believe that this newfound commitment has just come from this audience that I've built, and making sure that I'm showing up for the few people that are watching, and that I'm able to just organize my life in a way where I'm able to film this video on a Saturday, and then being able to make sure I have enough time next week to edit it after work, and just continuing to be uncomfortable and just put you guys first. But in doing so, I've learned to prioritize my time and manage my energy so I'm able to handle all those things. I definitely want this channel to hit those milestones that people think of when they think of successful channels, and I know that when I hit those goals, it's just going to be such a great feeling knowing that I did it all on my own, and I couldn't have done it without you guys, but I put in the work for years even without seeing any of the results, and I didn't quit on myself. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I say do it, but do it for the right reasons. Don't do it just to make money, because there are so many better ways to make money. You need to find that why like I have, and be okay with knowing that it's going to be a long grind. But I don't think you'll regret it. You'll learn so much about yourself along the way. In just these 2 years, I've grown more than I could ever imagine, and the journey itself has been the most rewarding part. I haven't gone viral yet, but that's no longer why I'm doing it. I do it because I love you guys, and I'll see you in that next video. Later. I like Kangaroo Jack. I thought it was a fantastic movie. And hopefully you give it a shot. Let's see, what else?